Hi, I'm Bill McKemy, and I'm a professor of double bass and jazz studies at Washburn University. And today I would like to talk with you about the Beethoven 7th Symphony Second Movement excerpt that is part of the Kansas All-State Orchestra audition materials. This excerpt comes from the culmination of the second movement, where the dirge-like theme is presented in a fugue. The soft, emotionally distant, controlled fugue eventually gives way to an outpouring of emotion. And that's what happens exactly in this excerpt. We begin with the bass entering with the fugue theme, and then about 12 bars into the excerpt, there's a great crescendo, and this is the emotional moment of this movement, where this carefully controlled mathematic fugue bursts forth with this outpouring of emotion. One of the things that you'll notice is that we have a lot of running 16th notes, and they need to be played with the highest rhythmic precision that you can muster. This will rely on you developing a strong sense of internal pulse. I would recommend checking yourself with a metronome as you practice this excerpt, and set the metronome on the different levels of rhythmic subdivision that are present. You'll see quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes. Try the metronome on each of those subdivisions of the beat, and make sure that when you're hearing the 16th note subdivision, that you're still counting the 16th subdivision and giving the longer note values their full due in the measure. And then when you're listening to the quarter note click, which will be somewhere in the mid-60s, say 66 beats per minute is a good tempo for this excerpt, make sure that you're feeling that 16th note subdivision and delivering all of those 16th note passages with a very even rhythmic precision. I would also recommend, as the single most effective thing that you can do to help learn this piece of music or any other, is to listen. I recommend the Günter Wand recording with the Cologne Symphony. You will find that on Spotify and other streaming platforms. The excerpt here is deeper within the symphony, and it's not from a published part, so please be aware of that when you're looking at the sheet music that comes with your Kansas audition materials. This excerpt on the Günter Wand recording, the old one, there are a couple of them, it begins at 5:28 on his recording. And so be aware of that. You're looking for something that's about 2/3 of the way through whatever recording it is you find. But you'll hear this. If you listen to that recording a whole bunch of times, especially the part that covers this excerpt, which is not that long in time, I would listen to it many, many dozens of times. I would just listen, and then I would listen and watch the part and imagine you playing those notes and hear the bass players playing the part in the section. Listen to it deeply, and then I would sing the part along with the recording, and pay very particular attention to the character that they play all of the notes with, and how that character changes, because this is a moment of transformation in this movement of the symphony. And a successful performance of this excerpt will convey that transformation, as well as correct notes, tuning, rhythm, phrasing. It's also probably good to be aware that this excerpt contains two different melodic minor scales. You will see the E melodic minor scale from measures 6 to 9 of the published Kansas excerpt, and the D melodic minor in bar 19. If tuning the changing intervals of the ascending and descending forms of this scale prove to be challenging for you, please take it out of context and stop. Listen very carefully to the pitches of the scale from a source like a piano, and then sing those, and then play on your bass, and then refer back to the piano. As you're starting to feel and hear on an intuitive level the tuning of those scale tones, I recommend using a drone to practice it to, out of context from the excerpt. And so lots of tuning and metronome apps for smartphones these days contain a pitch wheel sort of thing that you can sustain a pitch with to create a drone, or at the very least the note A is available on many electric metronomes. Listen to that as you play the scale and tune each interval as you go. It's probably good to hear things in relation to the root as you start, but then also hearing any problematic scale degree. Say, if you're in E, it would be a fine thing to put your drone on a D sharp and hear that leading tone tuning relative to the easier for you notes of that open string key. Also, let me offer to any student of music, of the bass, and of jazz, my time, if you would like to have a Zoom lesson about this or anything else. I'm available, and I'm happy to help. I've been blessed by many great teachers that gave freely of their time, and it would be my honor to help anyone that would like my input. Thanks. Good luck. Enjoy playing the bass.